Great Scott. Great Scott. Great Scott.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. It's good to see you. So, this week I'm going to begin my series of breaking down certain aspects of the film. I don't have a long enough time each week to do the whole analysis in one shot. So, I'm going to go in order. The movie's called Batman v Superman. Today, it's Batman. I know we're the Superman homepage, and I know we don't care as much about Batman, but it is the overarching DC universe in film that we're talking about now. Apparently there's a fan petition going around with 100,000 signatures to get Zack Snyder off any future projects and to change the whole situation. I don't care one way or another, although I am enjoying these films. I'm sure that they could be better. I'm sure that they could be worse. I'm sure that they could be lighter. I'm sure that they could be happier. I'm sure that they could be more hopeful. Batman in general is a dark character. And since this is Batman v Superman, this time me talking about Batman isn't way off topic because it is involved in a Superman movie. And in my opinion, it is a Superman movie. It's also a Batman movie. It's got Wonder Woman in it. It's about the early formations of possible future Justice League, and it starts with Superman and Batman. In this case, Batman, shown as very gritty, very violent, very dark, very mean, very nasty. Even Alfred calls him out on it. Now here's what I'm going to say. As a Superman fan, I like the fact that Batman was portrayed as the villain in this movie, and there's no arguing it. He is the bad guy. He is Superman's enemy. He is the one that is fighting Superman. If I were a Batman fan, and I like Batman, I still haven't seen a situation where they've used Batman the best way possible. The Tim Burton film, for me, was the best live-action Batman film. Batman Year One was the best Batman film, period. Live-action or animation. It's the best one. Now we have Ben Affleck playing Batman, and in my opinion, Ben Affleck is the best live-action Batman that we've had. He's brutal, and even Alfred knows that he has changed his ways. He does say to him, new methods, and he hands him the newspaper that shows the guy being branded. That's not something Batman used to do. Using weaponry, blowing things up, really hurting people. It was not Batman's MO, although he's always been a fighter, and that hurts to get beat up. So let's not pretend that Batman's this nice guy who doesn't hurt people. I've heard fans say, that's not Batman, Batman's not like that, and that's true. And the thing is, if the characters in the film weren't aware of that, and if this was just presented as, this is Batman and this is who he is, I could see the complaint. But we know that something terrible, and many terrible things, have happened to Batman since he retired from being Batman, and since Wayne Manor got blown out, and since apparently Robin was killed, and other things that have happened that we don't know about yet. And that's part of people's problem. It's very mysterious. It's very ponderous as to why Batman would be acting this way when they know normally he's strictly against guns. He's strictly against killing. He doesn't do these kinds of things. Although in Frank Miller, he's ready to use guns consistently. He's ready to kill consistently. He's extremely brutal and he's extremely violent. He's always been violent. But you are correct as a fan. It's not a great look at Batman because he is in an addled stage. He is in a maddened stage. He is angered. He is obsessed. And frankly, he's the bad guy. Which, as a Batman fan, you wouldn't want him to be the bad guy. You wouldn't want to see him going so outside of character. I've heard people say Superman and all the other characters are out of character too. But Batman is out of character, and he knows he is. He makes an excuse. We're criminals, Alfred. We've always been criminals. Nothing's changed. Everything's changed, sir! Everything's changed because Batman is being that way, and that is not Batman's way, and Alfred knows it. And Batman knows it. Bruce says it as if he's always felt that way when he knows. He's making excuses. And the reason he's making excuses is because he feels like he's failed. He doesn't know what to do anymore. And now he's thinking, if I had been more brutal before, if I had been more resolute in stopping these people instead of just taking them somewhere where they can break out of prison and continue whatever it is they do. In real life, people don't break out of prison. But in Batman's world, people break out of prison all the time. And it's Jokers and Killer Crocs and Penguins and people who come back and do horrible, horrible things. And in Batman's case, depending on the storyline, people end up dead. Same with Superman. And I've heard this argument before. If these heroes would kill Lex Luthor, he wouldn't be able to come back and do the next thing. But they don't do that. That's not their thing. Batman's doing it here because he doesn't know what else to do. That's my belief. He has gone off the deep end. Alfred calls him out on it, and he knows it. And he realizes it. Martha. I hear this consistently. Batman hates Superman, hates Superman, hates Superman, plans on killing Superman. But once he finds out his mother's name is also Martha, best buddies. This is untrue. I don't know what movie you watched. I don't know how you don't see this. But if you're a movie critic and you're professionally paid to write reviews, you should lose your job. If you are an internet critic, which is what most people are, and which is what most of these reviews are, that are giving it a whatever score it has now on Rotten Tomatoes, which everybody seems to take stock in, you just need to shut up. Martha is not as simple as everybody's. It's funny when you say it as a joke. Oh, your name is Martha? I saw a thing where Darkseid's mother was named Martha, and Batman started crying, and Wonder Woman was, oh God. But it's not just because her name is Martha. It's because all through the movie, Batman is so intent on getting the kryptonite so he can destroy Superman that he's blowing up bad guys, and he's chasing people down the street, and he's using machine guns, and he's focused. He's singularly focused on destroying the man that he thinks if there's a 1% chance that he's our enemy, he has to destroy him. So he doesn't even think about what he's doing. He's in an addle-brained situation. And then, when he's about to finish Superman off, which is obviously a sticking point for Superman fans, the only thing Superman is concerned with is, you have to save kill me, but you have to save Martha. You're letting him kill her. And when he says Martha, Batman doesn't understand why Superman is saying Martha, who is his mother's name. Then when Lois tells him it's his mother's name, everything comes flooding into him, realizing Superman is probably more human than Bruce himself is, especially in this moment. What Superman cares about is protecting his mother. What Superman is worried about is a human being. He has a mother just like Batman does. He's just as human as Batman is. He's not some otherworldly, omnipotent God that has no connections to humanity at all. This man is trying to protect his mother, something Bruce Wayne was too young to do when death came to his family. So when he hears that, he realizes, what am I doing? I can't believe it. And then he gets angry at himself, throws the spear away. It couldn't be more clear that it's a chastisement of himself for being so obsessed that he couldn't see that Superman is just as human as he is. And obviously he's not human, he's an alien, but he has the same kind of human feelings, he has the same kind of human emotions. The fight scenes with Batman are incredible. It's the best choreography that's been in any Batman movie in my memory. He is, again, very, very dangerous. There are situations where he's smashing guys' heads into the ground, smashing them against walls, where you look at them and you go, I don't know how a person would live through that, but on the other hand, Batman falls from 40 stories and lands on a car and is fine. So clearly in a comic book universe, human beings even have more resiliency than... Because Batman wouldn't be able to stand with the Justice League as a guy, even with armor, but he can. So he has... Humans seem to be a little bit more resilient, even in Smallville. Clark would throw almost every bad guy 20 feet into a wall and they wouldn't be dead. But if he threw me or you that far and smashed them into a wall with super strength, there'd be maiming, and there often was on Smallville. There'd be maiming, there'd be broken bones, there'd be death, there'd be punctured lungs, there'd be internal bleeding. So even humanity, I think, has a little more resiliency than what they normally have in real life. In the movie, Batman says men are still good. Wonder Woman says she left because men don't know how to get out of their own way. He's referring to men, but also to Superman. He's decided that he's going to change his ways. He goes to Lex Luthor. He doesn't brand him. He doesn't pummel him. He doesn't beat him to a pulp. Not that he's going to stop doing that, the beating. But I think he's going to be a little less brutal, a little less violent. And I think he's not going to brand people. And I think he's probably going to get away from killing people. When he went to save Martha, the argument I hear is, clearly Superman didn't inspire him because after he goes from fighting Superman, he goes out there and he kills all those guys. At that point, he had realized that Superman wasn't the monster he thought he was, and had a mother, and cared about humanity, cared about a human, wanted to save her. Now, he's resolute in doing everything he can to make sure this woman doesn't die. So he goes out there and he takes out the guy. It's not like he has a situation where he can go, well, I'll be nice to these guys and just hope that Martha still lives. He goes in there and he does what he has to do. Then, and his inspiration from Superman hasn't stopped yet. Now, the Doomsday fight happens, and while Batman is jumping around, just dodging, trying to get out of the way, which no human would be able to do, so we go back to humanity has more agility and more resiliency than normal, because a beam being shot at you and then explode, there's no way you could jump out of the way. But it's cool, and it's very comic book-like, Batman doing the swinging and the dodging and the things that he does. I mean, in the comic books, before they gave him armor, he never had armor. He wore a gray leotard. He would jump out of the way of bullets. In Batman the Animated Series, no armor. He leaps over bullets, dodges out of the way. Superman's faster than a speeding bullet. Man can't dodge a bullet. Batman does it all the time. But, in the end, when Superman sacrifices his life to save the world, Batman realizes how to be a hero again, and decides that he's going to change his ways, and in Superman's honor, things are going to be different now. And we're going to see Batman in the Justice League movie start to change those things. He might not, on a dime. People go, Scotty, you're wrong, see? He'll be trying. He'll be struggling. It's always a struggle for Batman. And clearly it's a struggle for Superman, too. And we'll talk about Superman next time. But I think Ben Affleck was a great Batman. I like that we're seeing a conflicted situation. It is out of character. But the characters know that it's out of character. And things are going to change. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And remember... Why did you say that name? Why did you say that name? Hi, Blavo. Hee hee. Yeah. Do not do that the whole time either.
I'm not sure what I should do. I'm going to try it this way, and then I'm going to see if it works, and if it doesn't, then I'll probably have done it that way. I don't know.